girls, I'm going to teach you how to evaluate algebraic expressions. So what's going to happen is you're going to be given an algebraic expression with values to enter in for each of the variables. So in our first 4 examples, you're given x equals 3 and y equals -4. So you're asked to sub in anytime you have an x, the value of 3, and anytime you have a y, the value of -4. Now the trick here is to make sure that when you substitute, especially with exponents and with multiplication statements, you're going to put your values in parentheses. So let's look at number 1 together. We know y is -4. So here you're asked to evaluate y squared. So we're going to put in a -4 instead of y and then squared. So what is -4 to the second power? Well, that's a positive 16. And this takes us back to what we studied earlier. The base is a -4 to -4, so it's going to end up being a positive 16. But the new trick was to make sure that when you plugged in that -4, it went in parentheses. So ramp it up just a tiny bit. We're going to put in a -4 to the third power in parentheses, and then a -4 to the second power, just making the substitution for y equals -4. Now we're looking at an order of operations problem. -4 to the third power will always be negative, so this is going to be a -64, and then you're going to have a positive 16. So back to 6th grade, -64 plus 16 is going to be a -48. I'm boxing these answers so they're clear. All right, what happens when you have a negative y and a negative x? Again, showing you how to plug in parentheses. You're going to have a -4 because y is -4, and then you're going to have a -3 because that's the opposite of 3, or -3. So then a -4 is +4. It's kind of like, I think I've said this before, if I'm not happy, then I'm happy. So here a -4 is a 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, next example, we're pulling absolute value into the game. So it's going to act as parentheses. We're still going to plug in, again, x is 3 and y is -4. So I'm going to take the absolute value of 5 and I'm going to make this a parentheses. So x is 3, y is -4, put it in parentheses. So that means all that means multiply, -7, absolute value. So going to do order of operations says 5 times 3 times -4 is going to be a -60 minus 7. Absolute value is still there. Still doing my arithmetic inside the parentheses. -60 minus 7 is -67. Then after I take the absolute value of that, I will get a positive 67. Make sense? Hope so. Here's the final example that I'm going to walk you through that actually is on your homework, but I've changed the value for z. So this is a -z² minus z minus 9. So lots of negatives to contend with. But we're going to put everything in parentheses when we sub in that -2, and then we're going to do our order of operations. So here I'm going to have a negative, put my -2 in parentheses to the second power, minus, I'm going to put in parentheses my -2, minus 9. So look at that just a minute. Make sure you're good to go with where I am. Plugged in a -2 in parentheses, squared it, -2 for z, but there's a negative in front of that, minus 9. Now let's go to town with our order of operations. This here is a +4, but I'm going to take the opposite of that. So this is going to become a -4. Then -2 is +2. And then I have minus 9. Oh, it's like a times, that's a plus. Okay, so then we're going to go from left to right. -4 plus 2 is -2. -2 minus 9 is -11. And that is the final example that I'm going to work for you. But I will tell you that if you're at all on the struggle bus, about to understand, then you can look in your textbook on page 73 and 74. I pulled examples from that text. They also just great explanations for you there, more problems to practice. Off you go to work on your green worksheet, and I wish you a wonderful weekend. Bye, girls.